Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we're looking at a technology that's moving at absolute light speed, but at the same time, it feels like it's hitting a massive wall. Today, we are talking about AI's critical crossroads in 2025.
Right now, the entire AI industry is being pulled in two completely different directions. It is a moment of just incredible tension.
So which is it? Is this thing building our future, or is it just a massive bubble about to pop? Let's dig into these two huge forces, this explosive acceleration on one side and this incredible friction on the other.
Okay, let's start where you always should. Follow the money. And right now, the money flowing into AI is, well, it's on a scale we have never seen before. It's creating this wild landscape of staggering investment and, frankly, a lot of anxiety. So let's talk about market confidence, right? You see this number? $13 billion? That is from a single funding round for just one company, Anthropic. That's a huge bet, a massive signal that investors truly believe this is the future.
And it's not just about funding the software side of things. In this absolutely blockbuster deal, the chipmaker NVIDIA is pouring $100 billion into its own customer, OpenAI, just to build out the giant data centers that this next generation of AI is going to need.
And honestly, that's just a piece of a much, much bigger wave. If you add up what the giants, Google, Meta, Microsoft, are spending, they are on track to spend nearly $400 billion on AI infrastructure just in 2025 alone. The scale is just mind-boggling.
But, and this is a huge but, this is where the friction really kicks in. There's this growing disconnect between all the hype, all the money, and what's actually happening on the ground for businesses trying to use this stuff.
In fact, a new study from the Harvard Business Review has put a name to one of the biggest problems undermining the whole business case for AI. They call it work slop. And it's exactly what it sounds like. AI producing stuff that's so low quality, so sloppy, that it actually creates more work for people to fix than it saves in the first place.
And this chart, this just says it all. It perfectly illustrates that profitability gap. You have billions, hundreds of billions being poured in, and yet a staggering 95% of organizations say they are getting no return on their AI investments. That is a classic, textbook sign of a speculative bubble, where the money is way, way out ahead of any proven value.
Now, this exact same push and pull is happening in the world of regulation. The tech is just screaming forward, and governments are scrambling, trying to get some kind of rules in place. It's a total clash between runaway development and the attempt to rein it in.
And you can really see this split in how people are approaching it. On one side, you've got organizations like the United Nations, which are calling for global talks and, non-binding pledges. And then on the other side, you've got places like California, which just passed a law with real teeth, a legally binding law that forces companies to disclose what they're doing.
And what's really fascinating here is that this isn't just about safety. This global scramble is creating this super complex landscape where countries are actually using regulation as a competitive weapon. The UK is literally rewriting its rules to become the most AI-enabled healthcare system in the world. Meanwhile, Indonesia is building out its own roadmap to boost its key industries. Everyone's trying to get an edge.
So, okay, how does all this tension, this acceleration and friction, actually show up in the gadgets and apps we use every single day? Well, the whole strategy has shifted. It's no longer AI as an app you open. It's becoming this invisible, proactive layer that's just always there.
The real acceleration is what people are calling ambient AI. Think about it. Amazon's new Alexa is designed to anticipate what you need before you even ask. Google is putting Gemini right into your web browser and your phone's camera. Apple is baking its AI into the apps you already use. And Microsoft? Their new PCs can basically create a searchable memory of everything you've ever seen on your screen.
And at the very same time, these unbelievably powerful creative tools are being handed to everyone. ByteDance has a tool that can generate a gorgeous 4K image in less than 2 seconds. YouTube is giving creators more than 30 new AI tools to do everything from editing to just dreaming up new videos from a line of text.
And here we go. This is where the cultural friction gets really, really intense. Because the easier it gets to make synthetic stuff, the louder and more organized the backlash from actual human creators becomes.
I mean, a perfect example. Hollywood unveiled its first so-called AI actor, and the reaction was just immediate and furious. The Screen Actors Guild came out and said, look, an AI is not an actor. It has no life experience. It has no emotion. It perfectly captures that fear of, are they stealing our jobs? Are they stealing our humanity?
And it goes way beyond art. We are seeing a full-blown crisis in just being able to trust what we see and hear. Spotify came out and said it had to remove 75 million AI-generated spam tracks last year alone. This flood of low-quality AI slop just erodes trust and makes it almost impossible to tell what's real anymore.
So, where does this all go? I mean, this tension between warp speed acceleration and this massive friction, it just can't last forever. Something has to give. And we think there are 3 key signals you absolutely have to watch to see where this is all headed.
First, the rules. Are we going to see a global standard emerge, or is the world going to split into different zones with different rulebooks? Second, the financial reckoning. Is the industry ever going to prove it can make money and escape these bubble fears? And finally, and this might be the most important one, the social license. Are we, the public, actually going to accept this always-on, proactive AI in our lives, or will all the concerns about privacy and just creepiness lead to a huge backlash?
How we answer those 3 questions is going to determine literally everything. The technology has undeniable momentum. It is a powerful force of acceleration. There's no stopping it, but its final destination, whether it builds a better future or just disrupts the one we have, that remains the most important unanswered question of our time.